Hey guys, today I'm reviewing Neutral Milk Hotel in the Aeroplane Over the Sea. Everybody likes the fucking album. Reviewers, RYM, all these places like it. But do I like it? Well, I mean, I fucking got the CD on the wall, so I gotta kind of like it at least, right? There's 11 songs in the album, 40 minutes, pretty well paced, doesn't get too boring ever. Let's go over the theme of the album real quick. So the main singer, songwriter, he plays the guitar, I'm pretty sure too. His name is Jeff Magnum. Now, Jeff Magnum, why he was making this album, read Anne Frank's diary, and that's why there's a whole theory where this whole album is about Anne Frank and how Jeff, wants to save her or whatever the fuck. Now, some songs, super direct, you can tell it's about Anne Frank. Like Holland 1945, probably about Anne Frank. There's other songs where it's like, it could be about Anne Frank, but it could not. And the reason why we don't definitively know is because people have asked Jeff Magnum, what's the album about? And he's like, it's about whatever you want it to be about. Like, Jeff, I need fucking answers. But I will say Anne Frank is an overarching idea that comes up in a lot of the songs in this album, but not all. Also, just want to say, some of the stuff about Jeff and Anne Frank is kind of peculiar. On Genius, he said Anne Frank was his ideal woman. I'm trying to find this annotation on Genius, but I cannot fucking find it. I swear I remember seeing it. That might be wrong, but anyways, this is probably complete bullshit. Don't listen to me. Now that could be a complete fucking lie, but when I read the annotation, I was bewildered, to say the least. Throughout the album, there's two main different types of music being played. We have these ballads that are really soft, where it's simply Jeff and his guitar, and those are beautiful, and Jeff singing fits so well with the guitars that are so loud as well, but they never overdo each other. And then we have these other parts where the whole band is playing together, and it's just like this chaos with Jeff yelling over it, and I love those parts too. All in 1945. And also King of Carrot Flowers part 2 and 3. Mostly I think it's the third part of it where we hear this, and it's awesome. And the whole album just doesn't really have misses. I think the opener, King of Carrot Flowers part 1, and then I guess technically 2 and 3, it's all one opener, is amazing. It eases us right into the album, shows just how much energy and all this different ideas that Jeff is going to put on the table. And then the outro, Two-Headed Boy part 2, is amazing. I think perfectly shows all the emotions Jeff has throughout this album and sums it up in this nice little song. And the thing with this album is almost all the songs are amazing. This is almost a perfect track list. I love almost all the songs. Oh Conley's obviously a highlight with its really interesting lyrics, as well as Jeff just kind of throwing it all out there. My favorite song on the album is definitely Two-Headed Boy. I think the lyrics are super interesting. And this is what I mean about the lyrics. The lyrics are very cryptic. They could mean really anything. I wouldn't say there's a definitive meaning for a lot of these lyrics, except on some where he basically name drops Anne Frank. But besides that, they're really up to interpretation. And like Two-Headed Boy, some people think it's about Anne Frank. I'm like 90% sure he's talking about cassette player. Might be wrong, but like it kind of makes sense if you look at the lyrics. The album really has a lot of emotion going into it, and it's mostly because of Jeff's amazing fucking voice over all of these songs. He's yelling his heart out. Sometimes he's almost whispering to you, and it's super catchy. It's super catchy. And I know some people think his voice is kind of annoying from what I've heard. I don't really think it's super annoying. It's kind of whatever. I mean, I like it personally, but you might not. However, I do have a tiny issue with the album. I don't think Communist Daughter is a good song. Communist Daughter is obviously memed on because of the lyrics, which I will put up right now. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really think it stands against the rest of the track list. Communist Daughter is right in the middle of the album, and Holland 1945 leads right into Communist Daughter. It's really not as good as any of the other tracks. Even the Untitled track and The Fool, which are instrumental tracks, I think are much better than Communist Daughter. I think out of all the tracks, the lyrics on Communist Daughter seem the most out of place on the album for me, and overall I just enjoy it way less. When I get to that song on the album, I listen to it because it's short, but I don't enjoy myself nearly as much as all the rest of the track. It really feels like a dip in the quality, and then we go right back up when we go back to Oh Calmly. I don't know if I would remove it from the track list, but I would have preferred an instrumental. It's not a horrible deal because, again, Communist Daughter is super short. It's like a minute 50, so it doesn't really stay there for that long, so it doesn't ruin the album. But I definitely think I would like the album more if it was not on the album, or it was replaced with a different instrumental. Overall though, this album is amazing. Jeff's voice is amazing. The lyrics are interesting and hard to kind of see what's happening. The chaos during some parts of the album is great, and then the slow parts of the other album are amazing. Jeff is a bit weird for his attraction towards Anne Frank. It seems a bit intense. Also, his sister looks a lot like Anne Frank, and I'm pretty sure his wife also looks a lot like Anne Frank. So that's That's kind of odd. I'm gonna have to give Neutral Milk Hotel and the Aeroplane Over the Sea a 9 out of 10. That's what I think about the album. What do you think about the album? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Or just say some other shit in the comments. I mean, it really doesn't matter. Thank you for watching, and have a good day. The world that you need is wrapped in gold, silver.